Minister of Ethiopia has conferred the country's highest honor to the Prime Minister of India. The greatest honor, a Nishan of Ethiopia, on Prime Minister Narendra Modi. In a moving social media post, the Prime Minister said that this honor really belongs to the countless Indians who have shaped and have strengthened our partnership over the years. US President Donald Trump has designated Venezuela as a foreign terrorist organization and formally ordered a blockade of the US-sanctioned oil tankers serving the country, calling it his toughest move yet. Trump has said that the decision, backed by what he described as a massive US naval deployment, would dramatically intensify pressure on President of the country and his government. Meanwhile, Venezuela has responded by accusing Trump of violating international law. And let's talk about more as far as Donald Trump is concerned. And this is in regard to the White House Chief of Staff, Susie Wiles, who has pushed back against a Vanity Fair article that portrayed the Trump administration and several senior officials in an unflattering light. In the interview, this is being quoted describing President Trump as having an alcoholic's personality and Vice President J.D. Vance as a long-time conspiracy theorist. However, Wiles later said that the magazine ignored the significant context and constructed what she called a chaotic and a negative narrative about the administration.
And Susie Wiles, we have our disagreements. We agree on much more than we disagree, but I've never seen her be disloyal to the President of the United States, and that makes her the best White House Chief of Staff that I think the President could ask for. And the last thing I'll say is, if any of us have learned a lesson from that Vanity Fair article, I hope that the lesson is we should be giving fewer interviews to mainstream media outlets.
This is, unfortunately, another example of disingenuous reporting, where you have a reporter who took the Chief of Staff's words wildly out of context, did not include the context those conversations were had within. And then further, I think the most egregious part of this article was the bias of omission that was clearly present. And we see a lot of this when dealing with the media every day.
A suspected New Year's Eve terror plot by an extremist group has been foiled by federal authorities in the United States. The FBI said that it thwarted that a credible and imminent terrorist threat, arresting 4 people accused of plotting the coordinated bomb attacks. And these were being planned in the city of Los Angeles, in the southern part of California, and that too on New Year's Eve. The FBI Director, Kash Patel, said that the suspects were members of a radical offshoot of the Turtle Island Liberation Front, an extremist group described by authorities as pro-Palestinian, anti-law enforcement and anti-government. He said that their interests, as far as there could be more people of interest that they're looking into as far as the investigation is concerned, but them having caught the 4 people that they have and their arrest has saved many lives.
Federal authorities in the US have foiled what officials are calling a massive New Year's Eve terror plot and arrested 4 suspects just outside Los Angeles. FBI has confirmed that a dangerous and organized plan to bomb multiple targets across the region was stopped before it could unfold.
Over the weekend, my office, along with the FBI, arrested members of a far-left, anti-government domestic terror cell who self-identify as the Turtle Island Liberation Front. The individuals were arrested on Friday, December 12th, when the group attempted to construct and detonate IEDs out in the desert.
According to officials, the plot was meticulously planned, with suspects allegedly scouting locations and testing explosive devices in a remote desert area. 4 individuals, identified by federal prosecutors, were taken into custody in the Mojave Desert as they were allegedly building and rehearsing the attack. Officials described the suspects as members of a far-left anti-government extremist group called the Turtle Island Liberation Front, a a faction set to oppose capitalism and the government. Investigators seized bomb-making components, detailed plans, and documents outlining coordinated attacks, including step-by-step instructions for assembling explosive devices. Attorney General Pam Bondi praised the work of federal and local law enforcement, saying this could have been a catastrophic attack if not intercepted. The 4 suspects face charges including conspiracy and possession of unregistered destructive devices, and prosecutors say additional charges could be coming as the investigation continues. Vishal Vivek for NDTV World.
And big revelations are emerging out in the Bondi Beach shooting case as the investigation deepens. It's been revealed that one of the shooters, Sajid Akram, is a native of Hyderabad. His son, the second accused, is an Australian citizen by birth. It also came out that the father-son duo visited Philippines in November. The 50-year-old Sajid Akram was originally from Hyderabad, migrated to Australia back in 1998, but his son Naveed Akram, who is from Australia itself. Well, now the details that are emerging is that attack that killed 15 people. In a statement, the Hyderabad police has gone on to say that Akram had lived in Australia for approximately 27 years and had only limited contact when it comes to his family back home here in India. While Australian police is saying that the investigation has brought about those 2 suspects to the they had traveled to Philippines in the last month itself. They had reached there on the 1st of November and were there in Philippines till the 28th of November before this shootout that took place at the Bondi Beach, in which the father was shot dead. Moving on now to Australian authorities stating that they have charged Naveed Akram, a man who allegedly opened fire on the Bondi Beach, and the police and the local courts have announced that 59 charges are being introduced after the shootings resulted in the deaths of at least 15 people. Among the offences are committing a terrorist act, wounding with intent to murder, placing an explosive, as far as exchanging a firearm is concerned, with the intent to cause a grievous bodily harm, and also publicly displaying a terrorist symbol. The US unemployment rate has gone up to 4.6% in the month of November, the highest level since October of 2021, the COVID times. Now, the number of unemployed people in November in the United States stood at around, this is, the figure is 7.83 million, higher than 7.12 million in the same period of last year. The data also showed that the US non-farm sector added 64,000 jobs in the very month, while month-on-month job losses were recorded in the transportation sector, the warehousing sector, and the federal government itself. Donald Trump has signed a proclamation expanding as far as a list of countries subject to full or partial entry restriction. The list covers around 40 countries affected. These are going to be impacted right from the 1st of January 2026. The White House in June restricted and limited the entry of citizens from 12 countries who pose a threat when it comes to the United States. The newly signed proclamation adds full restrictions and entry limitations on 5 additional countries based on recent analysis. And of course, these countries also include Syria, South Sudan, and Mali, amongst others. It also adds full restrictions and entry limitations on individuals holding Palestinian Authority-issued travel documents as well. The US House of Representatives held a moment of silence for the 2 National Guardsmen killed in an attack in Syria over the weekend. The 2 guardsmen killed in the attack were Sergeant Edward Bryan, and also we're talking about William Howard. Lawmakers from the Iowa congressional delegation stood on the House floor next to the large photographs of the 2 killed guardsmen as they paid their respects.
They stood their post when it mattered most. They carried the weight of our nation's safety on their shoulders, and they did so with courage, humility, and honor. In return, we, the U.S. House of Representatives, give them our gratitude, not just in words, but in remembrance of the solemn promise that justice will be served. Our grief, we renew our resolve. Out of loss, we strengthen our unity. And out of sacrifice, we carry forward hope. Hope grounded in the values that Edgar and Nate lived every day.
In Investigators hunting the gunman behind the deadly shootout at the Brown University Lecture Hall have released new videos of a person they believe may be connected to the attack. 4 days after the shooting left 2 people dead and 9 others wounded. Authorities say no suspect has been identified, keeping students and residents on the edge. On Tuesday, the police shared enhanced CCTV footage showing a person dressed in a dark outfit walking near the campus about 2 hours before shots were finally fired. Officials are urging the public to remain patient and are asking nearby residents to review home as well as business security cameras for any footage that could perhaps help in identifying the people of interest. Rob Reiner's son, Nick Reiner, was charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder in the killing of his parents, which stunned their communities in Hollywood and as far as democratic politics is concerned. The 32-year-old is charged with killing the 78-year-old actor and director Rob Reiner, as well as his wife, Michelle Singer. Along with 2 counts of first-degree murder, prosecutors added special circumstances of multiple murders, along with a special allegation that the defendant used a dangerous weapon, being a knife. The addition basically means that it could mean that, there could be a death penalty that the son is facing without parole. U.S. Defense Secretary, we're talking about Pete Hegseth, has said that there are no plans to release the full unedited video of the 2nd September strikes on a suspected drug trafficking boat. The boat in the Caribbean fueled concerns about the Trump administration's plans for Venezuela. Hegseth and the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, conducted briefings on Tuesday for every member of the Senate and House of Representatives.
We're also going to tomorrow allow the HASC and SASC to see the unedited video of the September 2nd, alongside with Admiral Bradley, who has done a fantastic job, has made all the right calls, and we're glad he'll be there to do it. But in keeping with long-standing Department of War policy, Department of Defense policy, of course we're not going to release a top-secret, full unedited video of that to the general public. HASC and SASC and appropriate committees will see it, but not the general public.
And Donald Trump on Tuesday said that he's nominating Troy Edgar as the next U.S. ambassador to El Salvador. Edgar was most recently a deputy secretary at the Department of Homeland Security. No date has been set yet, but it's likely to be soon. And cuts to humanitarian aid by the United States and other countries are contributing to a sharp rise in violations against Rohingya children across refugee camps in Bangladesh. Thousands of schools closed during several of these cuts to foreign aid. Funding cuts helped drive violations against Rohingya children, including forced marriages. According to UNICEF, verified children marriages cases have now risen. They have risen to 21% this year through September compared to the same time frame last year. Meanwhile, other children have been forced into manual labor.
With the funding cuts, we've had to downscale a lot in terms of the education. It's meant that children have not necessarily had things to do, and we've therefore seen this rise in children being married, children in child labour.
And Europe launched an International Claims Commission for Ukraine on Tuesday in an effort to ensure that Kiev is compensated for the damage from Russian attacks and the alleged war crimes. The gathering in The Hague of dozens of leaders, including Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky, coincided with a U.S.-orchestrated diplomatic push to end the war. The establishment of the Claims Commission does not mean Ukrainians can expect a swift a change as far as damages is concerned, but details on how any damages awarded by the Commission to be based in the Netherlands would be paid still needs to be worked out. The EU's Parliament is set to vote on a scheme that would enable women from nations restricting abortion to terminate pregnancies in another member state free of charge. The My Voice, My Choice Citizens Initiative proposes establishing a fund from the EU budget. in order to cover abortion procedures for individuals in need. This fund would support people from countries with near total bans such as Malta and also Poland. Now, Pakistan's most powerful military chief in decades faces the toughest test of his newly amassed powers. Washington pushes Islamabad to continue in order to contribute troops to the Gaza stabilization force, a move analysts say this is going to spark domestic backlash. According to reports, the Field Marshal Asim Munir is expected to fly to Washington in order to meet with the US President in the coming weeks for a third meeting in a matter of just 6 months. The meeting is likely to focus on the Gaza force. Japan's House of Councillors, the upper house of the national diet of the country, passed a supplementary budget for fiscal year 2025. Since the House of Representatives, the lower house has already passed the supplementary budget. The approval of this budget by the House of Council has basically meant that it has been enacted by the national diet. Japanese citizens have rallied recently in various parts across the country, strongly protesting the government's disregard of public welfare.
軍事費が拡大されると社会保障費の削減とかが始まったり、軍拡のために我々税金払ってるんじゃないという立場で、やっぱりそれは反対というか。
And thousands of people queued on Tuesday at Tokyo's Zoological Gardens, a day after officials announced that its popular twin pandas will return to their homeland in China next month. The twins were born at Tokyo's Zoological Gardens in 2021 and were raised there. However, they remain on loan from China and have to be returned by February of 2026. Their departure will leave Japan without a panda for the first time in about half a century. The last day of public viewing for the 4-year-old twins will be the 25th of January 2026.
国際関係とかもあると思うんですけれども、落ち着いて関係が安定した暁にはやっぱりパンダがまた来て皆さんにね目に見られるというか。楽しんで見れる日が来てほしいなっていうのはやっぱり心から願ってますね。
And as German artist Michael Tregel in 2018 asked a homeless man in Rome to pose for a drawing. The artist thought that he would make an ideal model for St. Peter if he ever needed to paint the first pope. 7 years on, the man's likeness has gone on display in the Vatican, a reunion of sorts that came about by chance on the night of the 25th of November 2022. The man died from cold. Now, his death caught the attention of Pope Francis, who had made a priority of caring for the homeless people around the Vatican. Now, the artist's contemporary central panel with a modern depiction of the Virgin Mary surrounded by saints included the homeless man as St. Peter's, wearing a red cap, is currently on a 2-year display at the Vatican.
And when he died, Pope Francis was praying at the Angelus, especially for him publicly. And he asked us, can you bury him here on your cemetery? So we did. And now the altar with the face of Burkhard Schäffler, the homeless one, as the face of St. Peter, comes especially where he is buried. So this is such a wonderful story.
Cuban devotees flock to the shrine of El Rincon on the outskirts of Havana in order to pay their tribute to Saint Lazarus. Now, during a pilgrimage that combines Catholic and Afro-Cuban centenary, these are traditions. The saint, also known as the Old Man, is one of the most recognized figures in Cuban spirituality.
Muchas bendiciones al pueblo de Cuba, que en estos momentos que cruzan nuestro país hay que tener bendiciones para seguir avanzando y seguir creciendo ante las dificultades. Soy devoto de San Lázaro.
It's match day in western Kenya's Kakamega County, now locally known as the home of bullfighting. 2 bulls are brought here to face off in a dusty arena as thousands continue to cheer. The bullfighting tradition is deeply rooted amongst the community.
Nikaiongelesha, nikaiambia ule mwenye mnaenda kupigana na yeye ndio mwenye alikushinda. Sasa sitaki ya kushinda leo. Na kwanza in fact nilikuwa nataka aenda, nilikuwa nimeambia Shakola mpeleke butchery, lakini ametuona hakuenda butchery.
Time for a short break. Lots more coming up on the other side. Stay with us.
ngejar baca kelas وصير أجل هاي ويحن مسطي أقول عشان متى أقول هاي
أبغى ما بردر أجاك أركل أرايا نيوني أجاك نام يكاديك
ayat no tenía comida y la niña estaba mal. Lloró. Estábamos tristes.
All over the world, millions of children like Fatun, Leolida and Monica are going hungry because of conflict, displacement and extreme weather. We urgently need your help to fight acute hunger and malnutrition. Please search Save the Children or visit savethechildren.org.uk to give £5 a month. You can help give hungry families life-saving food and provide malnourished children the treatment they need to recover. Please, donate today.
Bag the perfect presents at Boots with half-price fragrance star gifts like this Lancôme La Vie Belle Rose, now only £49. Gift happily ever after. Boots.
At Vodafone, get unlimited plus with EU roaming for only £25 per month, saving £360. And keep you and your family connected this Christmas. Hurry, offer ends the 17th of December. So go online or in-store today. Vodafone.
This Christmas, one ordinary man meets one extraordinary woman.
I'm Kira.
I'm Kira. I'm Phil. Phil.
Nice to meet you, Phil.
Waitrose presents the culinary event of the year.
Cooking for someone is love, darling.
He's a hopeless romantic.
Hi.
She's Keira Knightley.
Please say you don't have cue cards.
The perfect gift.
Sometimes it's the little things that remind us of them. Stay close, even when you're far apart. Send money worldwide with Remitly.
Deborah, stop horsing around. Let's play Zebra Bingo. With branded bingo rooms like Fluffy Favourites Bingo, Deal or No Deal Bingo, and Clover Rollover Bingo. And more classic bingo games than you could shake your tail at. There's over £6.5 million in bingo prizes to be won every month on the Bingo Network. Come on, let's play Zebra Bingo!
Now, about 800 people from the Chinese mainland and Taiwan gathered on Tuesday, and this was in the eastern China's province, to discuss a cross-strait industrial transformation, innovation and cooperation. Member of the Standing Committee of the Political Bureau of the Communist Party of China has been hunting. He addressed the opening ceremony of the annual conference. And Warner Brothers Discovery's board could announce a decision soon on Paramount Skydance's $108 billion takeover bid. The board likely to advise shareholders to vote against the offer. The decision to recommit to Netflix buyout offer would mark the latest twist. And it is Homebound, directed by Neeraj Ghewar, and it has been produced by Karan Johar, has been shortlisted for the Best International Feature Film Award at the Oscars. The film is India's official entry, and it is a movie that has been co-produced. In fact, the executive producer is Martin Scorsese. And with that, we're slipping into a short break. News and updates will continue. Stay with us.
Don't they grow up so fast? And sometimes the big life moments like a new home and a new school can be scary. Which reminds me, I don't want my family to worry about mortgage costs if the worst should happen. That's why I'm looking into smart family life insurance.
Hi, I'd like a quick quote, please.
OK, you can choose a benefit amount up to £750,000 depending on your age. If you're a UK resident aged 18 to 64, you can apply with just a few health and lifestyle questions. For £250,000 of cover, the price starts at just £14.77 a month.
That's less than I thought. I could help my husband with the mortgage.
Just like families, not all life insurance is the same. That's why we offer the Smart Family Guarantee.
That's good to know.
For even greater peace of mind, you'll also receive a 100% advance in the event of terminal illness and 10% cash back on your first year's premiums. That's the Smart Cashback. Plus, you'll also get your choice of a £125 gift card.
To get a free quote today, call our specialist UK team on 0800 542 1775 or visit smartinsurance.co.uk.
Shop the best presents at Boots with 3 for 2 on hundreds of incredible gifts across skincare, makeup and more. Gift happily ever after. Boots.
At Vodafone, you can save an incredible £756 with the new Google Pixel 10 and keep you and your family connected this Christmas. Hurry! Offer ends the 17th of December. So, go online or in-store today. Vodafone.
If you have cancer, it might affect your finances, but Macmillan Support is just a free call away.
Can I claim any benefits?
Whether you need benefits advice,
what if I can't afford my bills?
Struggling with bills,
how am I going to support my family?
Money worries,
what happens now?
Or just need someone to talk to. Whatever you need to ask about money, benefits and cancer, we're here 7 days a week. Call us free now on 0808 239 1000.
I like making sure I've got all the right tools for the job. And now that I'm 50, that means looking after the life I've built. Protecting my lot if anything happened to me. That's why I decided to learn more about over 50s life insurance from Cover Today. They're the only over 50s life insurer with no waiting period, unlike other insurers who could make you wait up to 2 years for full cover. With Cover Today, you're fully covered from day one. And you're covered for the whole of your life. Plus, unlike other things in life, the price never goes up. Learning more couldn't be simpler. Go online or talk to their friendly UK team in just one phone call.
Cover Today are the only over 50s life insurer with no waiting period and no annoying trips to the doctors either. Plus, you get your choice of a £125 gift card.
Cover Today has given me genuine peace of mind. And now that's done, I can get on with something much more interesting.
To find out more about Cover Today, call our friendly UK team on 0808 143 4733 or visit covertoday.co.uk.
This is the latest that we're picking up. Search is still underway at the Bastion pub owned by actress Shilpa Shetty. My colleague Ritu is at the spot. I believe she's outside that particular pub in Bengaluru. Ritu, take us through what's happening. Show us if there any more activity. What are you picking up as far as these raids are concerned?
Well, Deepak, you see, we are coming live from the Bastion Garden City pub itself, which is again one of the costliest pub that we do know here in Bengaluru, where the searches basically are on right now. Ever since that, the IT officials had entered the premises in the morning, but the searches still continue to be there. They are trying to verify various documents as well. When we talk about any sort of an irregularities that has really taken place, whether it's been a tax evasion as well. So yes, all that is being looked into as well. But on the other side, you see, the pub basically continues to operate as well, because we get to see a lot of customers entering over here. This particular premises, which is quite a huge place, almost 3 areas inside the huge pub that's basically functional even now. Now needs to be seen what is that the IT officials are really going to find out. Now more important, you see, this raid is basically just coming right after 2 days back that we did see basically how that there was an FIR that was registered as well, because the pub was also found violating certain rules. It was was violated because they were seen functioning during the late nights as well, beyond the permitted timing. And before that, we did see how that there was a huge ruckus that also took place right here at this at this premises itself, which has actually gone viral too. But ever since that, the bastion as a concept that the Shilpa Shetty had come up with, she seems to be running in the trouble. But here with this raid, we will have to see to it that what is that the IT department officials are really going to come out with. Back to you, Deepak.
Right, Ritu, stay with us. Now, yes, like Ritu was pointing out, this is not the only trouble. Earlier, there was an FIR as well registered against the Bastion pub. Now, moving on to some more news coming in from Bengaluru, and this is a heart-wrenching one. And many would question about, the humanity that we as people really express. Here is a story of a woman who tried to save her husband's life, decided that, she will take him on a bike because he started experiencing pain in the chest. Little did she know that her journey would turn into tragedy. She goes to one hospital where there was no doctors. She had to go to another hospital where they did say, yes, his condition is bad, but he needs to be taken to another hospital. But through all of this, she couldn't get an ambulance. She was forced to ride a bike along with her husband, who was suffering from chest pain. And then, unfortunately, they meet with an accident. But the tragedy didn't end there. You can see from these visuals, the CCTV that we have accessed shows her standing there, begging almost for people to stop. It was just 800 meters away, the hospital where he should have been taken, where treatment was available to him. But nobody would stop for several minutes, and finally it was a cab driver who stopped, managed to take him to the hospital, but it was too late for the family. Now my colleague Ritu went and spoke to the wife, who narrates the entire ordeal. Let's listen in to the story.
Rupa, I mean, just 800 meters away you were, the hospital was just 800 meters away. You say that for 3 minutes, I have seen him, he was struggling basically, in the pain basically. If ambulance had reached on time or the bypasses had really helped you and him, probably today he would have been saved.
Yeah, today I was saved him. If any ambulance or car was giving help us, today he was there.
What happened there?
Actually, they asked from how you came. We said we came from two-wheeler, but they didn't made any ambulance also. They didn't give any tablet also. They told straight, you go. Now only it's too severe. You go Jaydev hospital.
Well, meanwhile, here in Belgavi at the Suvarna Vidhan Sauda today, a massive protest was carried out under the leadership of the Chief Minister and the Deputy Chief Minister of Karnataka. Now, both the leaders, along with the MLAs, ministers and the MLCs, echoed in unison a voice of protest against the BJP's decision to change the Manrega scheme. Not just that, they were also protesting over the Enforcement Directorate action in various cases, including the National Herald case, where Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi, of course, came under scrutiny and now have really heaped praises on the latest orders that have come in from the courts as well. I caught up with the Deputy Chief Minister and the KPCC Chief, Mr. D.K. Shivkumar, a little while earlier during the protest. Let's listen to what he had to say.
As far as Narega is concerned, they want to wipe out Mahatma Gandhiji's name. It can't be possible. This is the most popular program of this country. For wherever we are doing development work, we are getting employment, we are getting money directly from whoever is working for the employment, village people, they are getting for their account directly. So they wanted to stop. Today or tomorrow the revolution will start, process will start. So they are afraid. So they are changing the name of Manrega. So they're changing the share pattern. They want to kill this concept. We will not allow.
How will you take it up, sir, in the future?
We will fight in the streets. We will fight in the panchayat level. We will have a big agitation program. They are given us an opportunity. We will fight it out.
So tell us, as far as Manrega is concerned, in the past as well, multiple issues you have raised that the BJP is trying to really not give the scheme as much importance as it should get. Today you're staging this protest. Tell us a little more about the reason that you're taking this up, sir.
See, first this protest is mainly from the National Herald, Associate General and Young India. In the name of, Gandhiji started this. He was the president of the Indian National Congress in this city, in this state. He led the freedom movement. We had a statue here on his memory of his 100 years. Here we are sitting. Why? For justice, for truth, for democracy, for constitution, for national flag. To save all this, we are sitting here. Justice has been prevailed. Injustice is not being delivered from the seat of justice. Today, justice has been delivered. They want to harass our leaders. See, as a custodian of the party, it is their duty to keep all the assets and properties in whoever is the president's name. There is nothing wrong. I am the president of the Karnataka Pradesh Congress Committee. I am having a trust, Congress Bhavan Trust. I have 150, more than 50, 60 properties are there. Can I sell that property? Can I own that property? I can't own that property. It is a Congress property. We all give. I also got a notice. I said, I will come, let me see the FIR. They didn't give the FIR. Then today it has been squashed.
So that's all we have from Karnataka. Now over to my colleague Sam Daniel in Tamil Nadu as he takes you through all the updates happening in Chennai.
தோற்கடிப்பதற்காக அவங்க வாரண்ட் அவங்களே கையெழுத்து போட்டு மக்கள் முன்பு காட்டி விட்டார்கள். 120 எம்பிக்களும் 2029 பாராளுமன்ற தேர்தலில் தோற்கடிக்கப்படுவார்கள் என்பது உறுதி. எந்த மாற்று கம்முன்னு இருக்க வேண்டிய இடத்துல கம்முன்னு இருக்கணும், கும்முன்னு இருக்க வேண்டிய இடத்துல கும்முன்னு இருக்கணும். இது யார் சொல்றது? திரு விஜய் அவர்கள். அரசியல் அப்படி இருக்க முடியுமானே? கம்முன்னு இருக்க வேண்டிய இடத்துல கம்முன்னு இருப்பேன், கும்முன்னு இருக்க வேண்டிய இடத்துல கும்முன்னு இருப்பேன். திரு விஜய் அவங்ககிட்ட கேளுங்க, ஐயா கம்முன்னு இருங்க, கும்முன்னு இருங்க, பேச வேண்டிய இடத்துல பேசுங்கன்னு நீங்க விஜய்கிட்ட சொன்னாவே நல்ல அரசியல்வாதியாக வருவாங்க. இவ்வளவு பிரச்சனை நடக்குது, இவ்வளவு சண்டைகள் நடக்குது. நான் பேசவே மாட்டேன், நான் வேடிக்கை மட்டும் பார்ப்பேன்னா உங்களை நம்பி எப்படி மக்கள் ஆட்சி பொறுப்பை கொடுப்பாங்க? தப்பா தப்புன்னு சொல்லுங்க, சரியா சரின்னு சொல்லுங்க. ரோட்டுக்கு இந்த பக்கம் இருங்க அல்லது ரோட்டுக்கு இந்த பக்கம் இருங்க, நடுவில் நின்னா எப்படிங்க ஐயா? வண்டி நடுவில் தானே வரும். அதனால திரு விஜய் அவர்கள் நியாயப்படி மக்களுடைய உணர்வு இன்னைக்கு எந்த பக்கம் இருக்கு? திருப்பரங்குன்றத்திலே தீபம் ஏற்றப்பட வேண்டும் என்று இருக்கும் பொழுது அவங்களுடைய ஆதரவு எந்த பக்கம் இருக்கணும்? நான் பேசவே மாட்டேன்னா அது எந்த விதமான அரசியல்? நான் தமிழ்நாட்டில் தொடர்ந்து சொல்றது, விஜய் அரசியல் இருக்கட்டும், அவர் சித்தாந்தத்தை சொல்லட்டும், மக்கள் ஓட்டு போட்டு முடிவெடுக்கட்டும். அப்படி இருக்கும் பொழுது எனக்கு ஒரு விஷயம் நான் பேசுவேன், ஒரு விஷயம் நான் பேச மாட்டேன்னா இதே விஜய் அவர்கள் புதுச்சேரிக்கு வந்தார். நம்முடைய ஆட்சியில, கூட்டணி ஆட்சியில ஒரு எம்எல்ஏ மந்திரி ஆயிட்டாரு, அவர் சிறுபான்மையர் அப்படிங்கறக்காக அவருக்கு பொறுப்பு கொடுக்கணும் விஜய் பேசினாரா இல்லையாங்கண்ணா? பேசினாரா இல்லையா? அன்னைக்கு சிறுபான்மையர் பேசின விஜய் திருப்பரங்குன்றத்தில் பெரும்பான்மையருக்கு ஏன் பேசல?
Well, the arguments in the Madurai bench of the Madras High Court continue for the 4th day over the single-judge order which was challenged by the Tamil Nadu government against the order that wanted the Kartika Deepam to be lit on an ancient pillar on the hilltop next to a dargah. Today, it was the turn of the petitioners to argue, and they argued that the claims by the police commissioner in Madurai and the collector that the lighting the lamp on the ancient pillar next to the dargah could lead to law and order concerns is nothing but a ploy to delay the execution of the Madurai bench's order. And they point out that in their view, the lighting of the Deepam on the hilltop is an important Hindu religious ritual, and they say it's a tradition in all the hill temples to light the Kartiki Deepam on the hilltop. And they say that after shifting the location from the hilltop pillar to another location on the hill near a temple, now the temple administration, the petitioners argue, is saying that that is the traditional place where the temple or the Deepam is lit. And they question whether the temple has given away the